Hello, all you amazing, empathic, intuitive, sensitive people, healers, everyone that is sensitive to the energies around them and in them. So, today, what I'm going to talk about is Happy New Year. It's a new year, and what I do at the end and beginning of each year. You can do it now, you can do it actually at any time, because it's called looking forward, not looking back. It is a way to not do resolutions, but rather manifest what it is that you want in your life. And it seems like the end of the year is a special time for most people because that's when we get together with families. That could cause stress for you and so on. So there's also one other thing that most sensitive people forget. So I'm going to talk about what that is in just a few minutes. So stay tuned to hear more. This is Anastasia. I used to be a physics professor specializing in vibrational and quantum physics. After recovering from a serious illness using energy healing on myself, the calling to heal became so strong that I had to quit my 40-year research career. I replaced my 6-figure professor's salary within 5 months using a simple but not easy 3-step system that I worked out to grow my healing practice. Now I help other healers grow their practices, whether they're just starting or already have a practice, with this same 3-step system. I'm all about helping you too. Listen in to learn more. Thank you so much for coming back. As I mentioned, we're going to talk about looking forward and not looking back. Because when we look back, we tend to look back at the things that went wrong in your life and what you can do to correct them. And that's what resolutions are. Resolutions are a way of looking forward to doing something different than you did before. So you think about what you did before. Typical resolution is, okay, I'm now 20 pounds overweight or 50 pounds overweight or whatever overweight you are. I resolve to release that from my body or to lose it, right? And that is looking at all the ways you did things wrong. And I'll give you a good example of this that just happened over the last 2 weeks. We drove up from the Los Angeles area where we live. We drove up to the Seattle area where my son and his family is. And we knew that there could be severe weather and that it might take more than one day. If we go in one shot, it's about an 18-hour drive. We leave before 6, we get there before midnight. And we have a few stops along the way, rest stops, gas, body, whatever, right? So during the trip while we were in Oregon, it really started to snow in earnest. It was cold the whole way, but it really started to snow. And the roads got very icy, they were packed, and there were few cars on the road. So we thought that it would be okay to keep going. We slowed down, we were down to 40 to 50 miles an hour, so it was going to take longer, but that was okay because we figured we'd get there in one piece. And right when we were just before we got to Salem, Oregon, a truck spun out right in front of us. It failed to make a turnoff, or it turned right and then the whole truck just lost traction. It spun around and around in front of us. The back end hit the center divider. The front end was dipped over was hanging over the edge, and all traffic got stopped. And so instead of saying to ourselves, oh my gosh, we're going to be sitting here for hours, my husband and I both said, thank goodness that we weren't next to that truck and that we're safe. So we just waited patiently. We had the heater on, so we were okay. And in about 20 minutes to half an hour, a trooper came by, helped guide us off the road. And we then stopped overnight in a motel that was like near Eugene, which is just south of Salem. And we had a very comfortable night. We slept really well on a very comfortable bed. We were super happy. And we were down at the complimentary continental breakfast. And we were chatting with some of the other people that were stuck in this weather. I mean, we couldn't even walk on the parking lot because it was just glass. The ice was just glass. And one gentleman was complaining. My husband and I were going, oh, we're so grateful that we're alive and well and our car's safe and that we'll be able to continue our travels today and that we'll arrive in one piece. But he was sitting there going, oh, the Oregon Department of Transportation knew this was coming. They didn't have enough people to cover what was going on. Now we're all stuck here. And he was just talking about all the things that went wrong rather than what went right. And, from my perspective, every day that things go well is a great day. And, from his perspective, every day is a terrible day, no matter how well they go. So be positive, right? Everything that's going great is, the more you focus on what's going great, the more great you will get. And even when we arrived at my son's house, because the last little bit is up a hill and the hill was extremely icy and the car did not navigate up. We only have front wheel drive, not four wheel drive. And we could not navigate up the hill. So we had to park it basically in a glorified driveway to their 4 homes above this driveway. And I was very happy I was able to walk upright, and we all got, everybody came down from the house and took a piece of luggage and brought it to the room for us. And we were just happy to have arrived in one piece, happy to be warm and cozy, and happy to have enough to eat, and happy to hug our family, right? So be like that. Be grateful. Even if there's chaos and horrible stuff going on all around you, if you're safe or if you survive a situation that's hairy, gratitude is the way through, and looking at the positive side. So that's the first step, is focus on the positive, right? And then in the quantum field. So I call this quantum manifesting. So the quantum field is all around you. And what do I mean by that? Is that it is everywhere. And when people say that in the quantum field, there's no time, no space, when light is traveling, right, it's traveling at the speed of light. So if something is traveling at the speed of light, it does not experience time. Just think about it. If you look at Einstein's equations of special relativity, it shows that the faster you go relative to everything else, right? That's why it's called relativity. The faster you go relative to other things is that you experience time differently, right? It's just like the twin paradox. So if light is traveling at the speed of light, it does not experience time like we do, and it sees the entire universe at once. So when somebody says in the quantum field there's no time and no space, light is in this universe, we experience it, and it experiences no time, no space. So we are in the quantum field, right? So when you create something, you can bring it into reality in a very clear way. And what I mean by that is, if you can imagine it and get very specific about what you want to create in your life, it will happen, right? So the reason why I live in this house right now is because I wanted to create that. And we sat down and figured out a way to make that a reality. This is the house I grew up in. My parents have owned it since 1967. My dad passed away in February of last year. And, I said to my sister, I'd like to take over the house. And then everybody in the family helped make that happen for me. And the whole estate is not quite settled, but it's almost settled. There's only a small portion of it settled. But yes, we created that reality. And now we're extremely happy living here. It is a great location, a great size. It's beautiful inside, and I'm really happy to be here. And the other thing that I created was the certification program of teaching everybody spiritual, emotional, mental, physical, relational, financial, right? All of the parts of us energetically, all of that in terms of healing. And I sat down in 2017, the end of 2017, and I outlined exactly everything that was going to be in the program. Then I turned it into a 24-month program. It's now a 12-month program, but I turned it into a 24-month program. I sat down and I outlined each lesson, what was going to be included, everything. And including, hints on how to grow, for example, your coaching or healing practice. Not just how to heal, you become healed, and also how to grow your practice. So that was all included. It was all in the original outline. And I still have that original outline, and I have now included a lot of writing besides, like what is in each lesson, right? And by doing that, I help bring it into reality. And then I wanted 20 people to join the initial program, the pilot program, which was the beginning of 2018. And 19 people signed up within 3 weeks. And by February of 2018, we were off to the races. The beginning of the program started. And I've taught it 3 times since. And this year I'm going on time number 4. So that is another way to create your reality. So first step is look at what was beneficial to you in your life so you can focus on that and get more of it. And second is bring it into reality by writing everything down and making it very clear in your mind, because that you are in the quantum field. You can create a new reality. You can create a new reality every day, right? So that's step number 2. And number 3, this is a hint that I want to give all people that are sensitive to energy and healers, is self-care is really, 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 really important. I cannot overemphasize how important self-care is, because as a healer or a coach or somebody that's helping someone else, we tend to forget ourselves. We tend to focus all around to other people. And making sure that you are doing the self-care things. And for me, it's getting into a habit. Getting into a habit of going to bed by 10 o'clock every night, getting at least 8 hours of sleep, getting up in the morning and doing some deep breathing, drinking at least a half a liter of water to help energize the brain and get the body going, cleaning off all of the poopy energy by taking a salt bath, cutting cords, and making sure that I have my back straight. And then last, drinking a shake full of superfoods. Looks kind of gross, tastes kind of gross, but it's something that I feel really great having every morning. And my grandchildren all ask me, Yaya, what is that? And I just say, it's go juice, because it helps make me go. In other words, it powers me. And that's how at this age, I just turned 70 at this age, that I can still have the amount of energy that I have. And self-care is super important. And of course, I get daily exercise, and I make sure that I stay upbeat because I have a tendency to get depressed. That's just part of my biochemical makeup. So I stay upbeat by focusing on the positive, just like I said earlier. So I hope that was helpful. The 3 steps: focus on the positive things that happened to you in the year. Number 2, bring something into reality by creating it very clearly in your mind and writing it down, because that helps, bring it into our current reality. And number 3 is self-care. So thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And again, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for taking valuable time out of your day to listen in. If you found this message helpful, please help spread the word by giving the broadcast a thumbs up or a 5-star rating. Share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe to my channel with your notifications on. For further training on healing and growing your healing business using my 3-step system, go to www.highpaidhealers.com. And I'll see you in the next video.